Welcome back, everybody, to my Christmas special, in which we're going to play some CD-ROM games now. The first of which is going to be the 1995 PC version of Jeopardy. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Hey, Tiger. Time for the Jeopardy. You want to play too? Come here, you. Here, sit down.
Welcome to Jeopardy! Let's begin our game.
Alright, yeah, I'll be him. Use the enter key to buzz in. Ruth Goldsmith, yeah, we'll use her. And Sandra Hart, we'll use her.
Hello, I'm Ruth Goldsmith. I'm a chemist for a pharmaceutical company. I've been interested in science ever since my mother gave me my first science kit for my 10th birthday.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Sandra Hart. I'm a practicing psychiatrist, and I also teach neural anatomy at a medical school. During my vacation time, I love to travel.
Now for the Jeopardy round, in which one daily
Yeah,
double
Guinness
will appear
records.
somewhere on the board.
Zoology.
Here are the categories.
The 20th century. Drama. Odd jobs. And finally, U.S. presidents. Alright.
Good luck. Contestant number 1 will start with you.
I'll start with drama 100.
Let's take a look at the answer.
Okay. Second act of the Thornton Wilder play deals with the marriage of George Gibbs and Emily Webb.
Contestant number 1?
What is our town?
Yes,
Alright.
that's correct. Contestant number 1?
The rights to his Peter Pan were donated to a London Children's Hospital in 1929.
Contestant number 1?
Who was Sir James M. Barrie?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1?
This playwright starred with Gertrude Lawrence in the original production of his 1930 play, Private Lives.
Contestant number 3?
Hemingway? I don't think so.
No, I'm afraid that is not correct.
I have no idea, so I'm not going to try. Noel Coward.
Contestant number 1?
When the Nazis came to power in Germany, this author of the Threepenny Opera immigrated to Denmark.
Contestant number 2?
Hess? No.
I'm sorry, that's wrong. Contestant number 3?
Kafka? No.
Wrong.
I don't have any idea, so I'm not going to try. Bertolt Brecht.
Contestant number 1?
Emmett Lavery's The Magnificent Yankee is a play about this Supreme Court justice.
Contestant number 2?
I don't think it's Melvin Fuller.
Wrong. Contestant number 3?
Salmon Chase?
Sorry, that's incorrect.
I don't have any idea, so again, I'm not buzzing in. Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr.
Contestant number 1?
Okay, I'll take Guinness Records 100. With over 7,400 feet of track, the Beast at Kings Island is the longer one of these in the U.S.
Contestant number 2?
A roller coaster?
You are correct. Contestant number 2?
At 22,595 feet high, Ojos del Salado is the highest active one of these in the world.
Contestant number 3?
A volcano, I knew that one.
You are correct. Contestant number 3?
The largest one of these ever compiled wasn't the Britannica, but the Yongle Dadian.
Contestant number 1?
What is an encyclopedia?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
The greatest drop over which anyone has walked on one of these is almost 2 miles above France.
Contestant number 3.
High wire act? No.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Contestant number 2.
Tightrope? No.
You are correct.
Oh, it is.
Contestant number 2.
You'll find the world's lowest road at 1,290 feet below sea level along the shores of this sea.
Contestant number 3.
The Dead Sea, I was thinking that.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
Oh well. Similar to a human baby's teeth, a baby elephant grows milk ones of these which fall out by age 2.
Contestant number 1.
What are tusks?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
A new species of this primate, the mouse marmoset, was recently discovered in the Amazon rainforest.
Contestant number 1.
What is a monkey?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Also called a paint horse, it wasn't officially recognized as a breed until 1963.
Contestant number 2.
The pinto?
You are correct.
Okay.
Contestant number 2.
The yapok of South America, a species of this animal, is the only marsupial that can live in water.
Contestant number 3.
Raccoon? No.
Sorry.
I don't have anything on this one. A possum.
Contestant number 2.
The Arctic species of this bird breeds in summer near the North Pole, then winters in Antarctica. I think I know this one.
Contestant number 2.
The tern.
You are correct.
Okay.
Contestant number 2.
The 20th century. Theodor Svedberg, who developed the ultracentrifuge, won this prize for chemistry in 1926.
Contestant number 1.
What is the Nobel Peace Prize? All right.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
It's believed that the Soviet dictator was planning another purge when he died suddenly in March 1953.
Contestant number 1.
Who's Stalin?
You are correct.
Stalin.
Contestant number 1.
The plaque inscribed with Emma Lazarus' poem wasn't placed on its pedestal until 1903.
Contestant number 1.
What is the Statue of Liberty?
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
Completed in 1960, the SAS Royal Hotel and Air Terminal was this Danish city's first skyscraper.
Contestant number 1.
What is Copenhagen?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Historian Nikolai Iorga served briefly as this country's prime minister during the reign of King Carol II.
Contestant number 3.
Bulgaria? No.
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
It's not Bulgaria. If I were to...
Contestant number 1.
I'm going to try what is Romania.
Yes,
All
that's
right.
correct. Contestant number 1.
A Savoyard is a performer in one of this pair's comic operas.
Contestant number 3.
No.
I'm sorry, that's wrong. Contestant number 1.
Who were Gilbert and Sullivan? All right.
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
It's someone who makes or repairs leather seats that strap onto horses' backs.
Contestant number 2.
A saddler?
You are correct.
Yep.
Contestant number 2.
All right. Cox is short for this, the person who steers a racing shell.
Contestant number 3.
Coxswain?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
Romanian Bella Carolii made a living training these in Texas.
Contestant number 2.
Animals? No.
No, I'm afraid that is not correct.
I'm not going to try. Gymnasts.
Contestant number 3.
This is the specific term for a gum doctor.
Contestant number 3.
A
You are correct.
Periodontist.
Contestant number 3.
His mother, Lillian, joined the Peace Corps in 1966 and served for 2 years.
Contestant number 2.
Jimmy Carter.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 2.
He won the 1860 GOP nomination on the third ballot after trailing William H. Seward on the first 2 ballots.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Abraham Lincoln?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
From 1922 to 24 and 1926-34, he served as a judge in Jackson County, Missouri.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Harry Truman?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
This president had 6 children: Alice, Theodore, Kermit, Ethel, Archie, and Quentin.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Franklin Roosevelt?
You are correct.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Contestant number 1. Contestant number 1. What would you like to wager?
$43. In 1797, his father appointed him minister to Prussia. Who was James Madison?
No, I'm
John
afraid
Quincy
that is
Adams.
not correct.
Oh well.
Now for the double Jeopardy round, with 2
Books of
daily
the
doubles
Bible,
somewhere on the board
nutrition,
in these categories.
plays, world geography, oh goody, politicians, yuck. Mark Twain quotes.
Good luck. We'll begin the game with contestant number 3. The answer is
The name of this second book is from the Greek for exit or departure.
contestant number 1.
What is Exodus?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
If you're patient, you can probably figure out this book has the shortest name.
Contestant number 1.
What is Job?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
In this final New Testament book, Satan is bound for 1,000 years.
Contestant number 1.
What is Revelation?
You are correct. Contestant number 1. The answer there is
She marries Boaz in chapter 4 of the book named for her.
contestant number 3.
Ruth? Yeah.
Yes,
Too late.
that's correct. Contestant number 3. The clue? It's the daily double.
It's one of the 2. Just going to wager the maximum allowed on this clue in Books of the Bible. This book, immediately following the Gospels, deals mainly with the works of St. Peter and St. Paul. Acts of the Apostles. Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
Nutrition, okay. Night blindness can be caused by a deficiency of this vitamin.
Contestant number 1.
What is vitamin C?
You are correct.
Vitamin A, okay.
Contestant number 1.
Fortified milk is the richest dietary source of this vitamin that's also formed when the sun hits the skin.
Contestant number 1.
What is vitamin D?
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
Vitamin K is essential for formation of the substances that make blood do this.
Contestant number 3.
Flow? No.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Contestant number 2.
Clot? I think so.
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
Excessive intake of this element causes fluid retention and may contribute to high blood pressure.
Contestant number 3.
Potassium? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. Contestant number 1.
What is sodium?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Minerals such as copper and zinc that are needed only at minute amounts are called these.
Contestant number 3.
Trace elements? Yeah.
Yes. Select again. Contestant number 3.
Okay. Part of Arthur Schnitzler's play La Ronde is set near the amusement park of this Austrian city.
Contestant number 1.
What is Vienna?
Yes. That's correct. Contestant number 1.
Shaw heroine who says, I shall be remembered when men will have forgotten where Rouen stood.
Contestant number 2.
Janine?
Wrong.
No.
Contestant number 3.
Nope, that's not right.
Sorry, incorrect. Anyone else?
I'm not going to try. If I were to buzz in, I'd say Eliza Doolittle, but I don't think that's right. St. John, thank God.
Contestant number 1.
Suddenly last summer opens at Sebastian's Garden in the Garden District of the southern U.S. city.
Contestant number 1.
What is New Orleans?
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
Part 3 of this playwright's Torch Song trilogy is titled Widows and Children First.
Contestant number 2.
Firsten? No.
Sorry. Contestant number 3.
Harvey Fierstein?
You are correct. Contestant number 3.
She's going to do 1,000. Okay. She's nowhere close to me. The only two characters on stage at the end of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? George and Martha?
You are correct.
Yes.
Contestant number 3.
World Geography, goody. Currents in this ocean include the Brazil Current and the Labrador Current.
Contestant number 1.
What is the Atlantic? All right.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
The Palace of Justice in Paris stands on this island in the Seine River.
Contestant number 2.
The
You are
Ile
correct.
de la Cité.
Contestant number 2.
Okay. Columbus discovered these islands in 1493 and named them for St. Ursula and 11,000 maidens.
Contestant number 1.
What are the Virgin Islands?
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
The saintly Swiss Alpine resort has been known for its mineral springs since Roman times.
Contestant number 1.
What is St. Moritz?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Africa's northernmost mainland point is Ras Ben Sika in this small nation.
Contestant number 1.
What is Tunisia?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number
Mark
1.
Twain quotes 200. Character who said, you feel mighty free and easy and comfortable on a raft.
Contestant number 1.
Who's Tom Sawyer?
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Not Tom Sawyer.
Contestant number 3.
Huckleberry Finn, the other one.
You are correct. Contestant number 3.
Oh well. This consists of whatever a body is obliged to do. Play consists of whatever a body is not obliged to do.
Contestant number 3.
Create? No.
Sorry, incorrect. Contestant number 2.
Work?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Contestant number 2. Let's take a look at the answer.
One of the brightest gems of this in New England is the dazzling uncertainty of it.
Contestant number 3.
The weather?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
When in doubt, tell this.
Contestant number 2.
The truth.
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
There ain't no surer way to find out whether you like people or hate them than to do this with them.
Contestant number 2.
Talk?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Contestant number 3.
Travel with them.
You are correct. Contestant number 3.
Among this former New York City mayor's books are His Eminence and His Honor and All the Best.
Contestant number 2,
Edward Koch, yeah.
you are correct. Contestant number 2,
In 1971, this Kansas senator was chosen Republican national chairman.
contestant number 2,
Robert Dole? Yep.
yes, that's correct. Contestant number 2, let's take a look at the answer.
In 1968, this third-party candidate for president garnered almost 10 million votes.
Contestant number 1,
Who is George Wallace? George C. Wallace, yeah.
yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1,
From 1901 to 1906, this progressive served as governor of Wisconsin.
contestant number 2,
Oh, no.
no, I'm afraid that is not correct. Contestant number 3,
Robert La Follette.
you are correct. Contestant number 3,
Last one. In 1991, this 88-year-old South Carolina senator and his 44-year-old wife separated after 22 years of marriage.
contestant number 1,
Who is Strom Thurmond?
you are correct.
Okay.
The final Jeopardy category is
Newspapers.
contestant number 1. What would you like to wager?
Just $756.
The final Jeopardy clue is
It was once advertised as the daily diary of the American dream.
contestant number 2. Your final Jeopardy response was, good job.
It is the Wall
Let's
Street
see what
Journal.
contestant number 2 wagered.
$50. So she goes up to $150.
Your total? Contestant number 3. Your final Jeopardy response was, oh, sorry, that's not right. Let's see what contestant number 3 wagered. Your total? Contestant number 1. Your final Jeopardy response was, right. Let's see what contestant number 1 wagered.
So we know I'm the winner. I won $11,513.
Your total?
See you all for another game, everybody.
Contestant number 1, you are now the reigning Jeopardy champion. Congratulations.